Hi guys, my name is Gurkiran Kaur and today's session is on the IELTS version of how to score what are the score indicators and what are the band scores that we've been talking about so far. So till now so far what we've done that we've been doing the test format in detail to understand what does each test format actually entails into and how to explain it. We did the four parts of the IELTS test format, which was listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And the reading and writing were different for for the academic as well as general training. So we did that as well. So the last part of this test format is where we need to just understand how does the scoring happen, how do you get a score of band 9, what is the indicator that is there if you get like a 6 or a 7 or an 8, and what does that exactly mean. So let's go ahead. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Gurkiran Kaur. I'm a graduate from Mica. I'm passionate about dancing and reading, and I took my IELTS and CAT exam in 2016. So what is the Unacademy Advantage? So if you join the Unacademy app, these are some of the things that you get as benefits. Um, Definitely a schedule that works for you. So we have classes in the morning, in the evening, at any point of time. So whatever schedule that suits you. If you're a morning person, you can take the morning class. If you're an evening person, you can take the evening class. Any of that, there will be like a full-fledged schedule that is there. There is no language barrier. So in case you're not comfortable with English or Hindi, you can definitely watch your courses in other languages apart from that as well, so that you can understand that particular concept easily. um of course, the best part about it is that you can learn this anytime and anywhere, from the comfort of your mobile PC, tablet, laptop, online or offline. Even the recorded version are the same. So in case you miss that out, you can definitely attend that. You can interact with your indicator live, of course. That's one of the biggest things that you are there. So in case you want to discuss a topic, get your doubt clear, anything, you can definitely do that as well. Also, live polls can would be there, which would be taken up by the educator every day, every week, every month. So you can definitely participate in those to see where you're standing in that particular topic in that particular day, and you can see yourself on the leaderboard to see if you're proficient or if you need help still. Also, like a full on detailed report analysis also of what is the topic wise score, what is the time spent per question, competitive stats, etc. A lot of PDFs and learning material as well. So in case you want to just refer to back some notes, you can definitely do that as well. What do you get? Like I mentioned, live classes, live testing quizzes, structured courses, unlimited access, etc. Um, this is the Unacademy Plus subscription, which is also the advantages that I was talking about, where you get all of this. We have the iconic subscription, which we started recently, which is over and above to the Plus subscription, where you also get like a full-on personal coach as well, who would be helping you guide your preparation level to crack the exam that you've been targeting for. There will be prep for other management exam as well, not just CAT. So again, an additional advantage. A lot of expert guidelines and test analysis are the same. This is the CAT value offering that uh, an academy has as of now, which is your iconic CAT 2021, which I already mentioned. The best educators that we have so far, they some of them are 100% tilers in CAT, some of them are like I am alumni with years of experience. Some of them are renowned authors and experts in varied subjects. We have a lot of batches also, like I mentioned, which is very suitable: morning, evening, weekday, weekend, working professional, foundation, anything. So there are a lot of batches as well, a lot of test series, a lot of special classes and practice sections as well on the Unacademy app. This is how it looks like to be a part of the Unacademy this thing. So what's the cost to this? For the Unacademy Plus subscription, we It is for 1 month, it is 3,500. You just, in case you just want to try out, you can use my special code GCOR to unlock it for, and get a discount of 10%. But in case you're planning to, give it a full heart and go to, crack the CAT 2021 and other exams, I would suggest you can go for the full year plan, which is only 1,400 per month. It turns out to be about 17,500 for the year. And but you also get an additional 10% discount on this, so which is like a great deal. In case you're planning to take up the Iconic subscription, which is like a full on prep level, uh, to crack any sort of exam that you've been targeting, there's a 1 year subscription which is for 2,500 per month, which costs up to about 30,000. But again, you get like a 10% discount on the overall subscription using my code GCORE, so you can definitely do that. I'm sure you're not gonna regret it. These are some of the people who've cracked CAT 2020 with flying colors using the Unacademy Plus and the Unacademy Iconic subscription. So you could be one of them. So definitely you can see the results of how well Unacademy preps you up for that exam. Well, uh, you can enroll for these classes. So some of the classes which have started recently and are gonna start was on the 18th of Jan. We just recently started the weekday evening batch for CAT 2021 by Agni sir, Bharat sir, and Himanshu sir. There's one which started on 19th, which was your weekday morning batch by Ananda sir, Udit sir, and Bobby ma'am. There's one which is specifically for working professionals, which is started by Hitesh sir, Dhruva sir, and Rutu ma'am, and this is starting on the 22nd of January, which is like today. So do go check it out on the Unacademy app, and you can definitely enroll for it, because I'm sure you're gonna really, really, get all the help that you need to crack the exam that you've been always targeting. Well, we have something different and unique also, which is the Unacademy Combat that we have, which is every 15 days we have like a contest for CAT, where a lot of CAT questions are posed up by the educators from our platform. It's super fast and super fun with like proper real-time ranking and everything, and you get to compete with a lot of people from all over the country, so which is like a great deal. And also for on like video solutions are also going to be given by these educators post the combat. So this is a 1 hour thing from 12 to 1 on this Sunday, 24th Jan. So do enroll for it, do go ahead for it, register for it now. To unlock the combat, just use my code GCOR and you can definitely unlock the combat. um what do you win with this? You get to win like 6 months plus subscription just for free, which is like a great deal. And you also get a chance to win 1,000 rupees Amazon vouchers. So I think that's also another great deal that you have. Well, let's start the class. So till now we've done a lot of things about IELTS. We've understood the test formats for all of them. We've also understood how what the IELTS exam entails, and what so I've been talking about using a 9 band scale. So what exactly is this scale is what I'm going to talk about in today's session. Um so this is the IELTS scale that you have that I've been talking about. Like all the entire test format that we've been talking, this is how you are going to be scored, and basis which you're going to be given a score at the end of your exam, post which this is a certificate which you get and which you can take it up in your institutions or organizations wherever you are posting it up for whatever reason that you have been applying IELTS for. So the band score one, like I was talking, was basically a non-user, where the person doesn't barely knows the English language except like a few words. Your band 9 score, which is like a super expert user, where the person has like full operational command on the language, and the use of English is absolutely correct, accurate, fluent, and shows complete understanding. So well, that is the expert user. So usually Indians have a very high chance of scoring a 7.5 plus, so which is like a great score. So scores are in half bands and whole bands, which I'm going to talk about later as well. So So what if if you score above 7.5, so a lot of actually institutions have like certain requirements, like some, so if they mention that in every section of your IELTS you should get at least a 6.5, then only you are eligible to, apply for that organization, or you can uh, give your test, to give your scores for. But it depends on institution and place to place. So but ideally a score above 7.5 is considered to be somewhere where you would be standing good and you have like a good command over English. So I scored an 8.5, which is almost like 9. I mean, I was just like got by half band in one section, but I will be talking about my experience as well. But a very good user here is 8, which is like also pretty good, because where you have like full operational command here as well. Um, with only occasional unsystematic inaccuracies and inappropriate usage. This they may understand, they will a lot of misunderstand some things in unfamiliar situations. They handle complex and detailed argumentation well. It's just that there's like a minor one or two things. It's just be like just about to touch perfection. So I think that's also a pretty great score. So yep, that's the IELTS scale that you get your score on. So what is the overall band score? The overall band score is the average of the four component scores rounded to the nearest whole or half uh, band. The component scores are weighted equally. So, what is the example for this? So, there's the so if there's a person, there are three people, A, B, C. So there's listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So your listening has like, it's if you suppose you get like a 6.5, like I mentioned, reading you get like a 6.5, writing you get 5, speaking you get 7. So average is like 6.25. So you automatically increase it to 6.5. There's another person who's got like a 4, and who's got like a reading, it got 3.5, writing is also 4, speaking also 4, and average is like 3.875. So your band score turns up to be 4. But if you got like a 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, and 6, which is your average with the third person, and who's only scored like 6.125, your band score turns out to be only 6. So it is rounded off to whole or half band. And if the average ends in 0.25, it reduces, rounded up to the next half band. If it ends in 0.75, it is rounded up to the next whole band. So to be very, you can be very sure that try to get your full bands, because then of course your band score will also increase. And of course, apart from that as well, you get a chance to get a good score in overall. So, what are your component band scores? So, I will be talking about individual band scores as well. So, listening is your IELTS listening test contains 40 questions, and each correct answer is awarded 1 mark. Scores out of 40 are converted to the IELTS 9 band scale, and scores are reported in whole and half bands. So your band score, if it's 5, your raw score would be average about 16. So, if your band score is 8 in listening, that means you score like a 35 out of 40, which is like the highest. So try to score between out of 40. If you get like between 30 to 40 out of 40, you will definitely get a band score of between 7.5 to 8. And of course, if you almost score above 35, you get to be 8, 8.5, which is like a great deal, which is like the best score that you can definitely get. And listening is one of the easiest. So do try. This is a section which you can score very well, and you to just have to listen very carefully, and there is no and it's just mostly direction based, so you just need to listen what they're saying, and if you're following it well, I think then you're good to go. So the reading contains 40 questions, and each correct answer is awarded 1 mark, and the scores out of 40 are converted into IELTS 9 band scale, and they're reported in whole and half bands. So, the academic and general training reading, like we've been talking, they're graded on the same scale only. So distinction between the two tests is one of genre or text type. However, academic reading tests may contain texts which feature more difficult vocabulary or greater complexity of style. And it is usually that a greater number of questions must be answered correctly on a general training readings test to secure a given band score. So these are the band scores that you get in the on the academic reading and in the general training reading. So if you're in academic reading, your out of 40, if you get, like, again, like I mentioned, like a 30 or a 35, so you're good to go. You get like a score between 7.5 to 8 band score, which is a great deal. I think that's a pretty decent score overall. So in your general training reading, so if you get like a 7 or an 8, which is like from 6 to 8, so if you get like 30 out of like 30 plus out of 40, so you can get your band score to 6.5 plus, which is what would be ideal. Your ideal score should be 7.5 plus, and that would be 34 plus raw score out of 40. So it's not that tough. It's again because it's just reading, and you need to like keep just following the instructions to read up and do the question. So yeah, you can definitely score well in this section as well. So band scores. So the hardest band scores are for writing and for speaking. For writing specifically, because so not even for the task one. The task one is still easier because it's more like a direction and instruction based thing, where like a certain diagram or something you need to just explain, and it's in 150 words, so you don't have a lot of scope to make a lot of errors. So of course task one is fairly simpler, but for the task two, yes, of course, when you have to write an essay on a topic which is not very known or something, and you need to really use your knowledge, the person who's taking the exams, who that knowledge. So and if you use your own experience to write something, so yes, you tend to make mistakes, and you tend to go a little off topic as well, because you need to write minimum 250 words first of all, so there are a lot of like rules and all also to be followed, so it becomes a little difficult. Yes, so like I mentioned, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, we've been talking about this. So, but the criteria are weighted equally, and the score on the task is the average. So, this is the same for speaking as well. Here, assessment criteria is to award a band score for each of the four criteria here. Again, so speaking is again fluency and coherence. So, how well you can speak. What is your lexical resource? What is your grammatical range? Are your pronunciations right of every word that you're speaking? So, again, here also your the criteria is weighted equally. So try to get like higher scores on your reading and listening, so that even if you get a little lesser score, like if you get like a 7.5 also in your writing and speaking, then you can easily score up to like 8.5 half out of 9, which is like a fair score. So thank you so much, guys. This was another session and on how to get a good score on IELTS. So I will also be talking about some of the tips and tricks that I did. So I also got a great score. So I got a very good score in reading and listening. So only the speaking and your writing is something which is not really something that is in your control, because it's a very subjective thing, and there's no like you're not like giving marks to it, so it's totally dependent on the examiners opinions or whatever they are thinking at that point, or what are the and some of the key points if you mention or if you've not mentioned. So you never really know, so that's where, but of course we'll be practicing those questions, it's not like that, but it's just that scoring on the other sections, because if you get a higher score there, you can average it out in the other sections, so you can then that average turns out to be 8.5 out of 9, which is like a great this thing. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe on Unacademy CAT4MBA. We're live daily. There are other sections of exams as well which are taken there, so you can go check it out. And don't forget to use my code GCOR in case you're interested to